Hello everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. We're going to go ahead and take another look at Bitcoin, see what's going on here today. Happy Friday. Hope you are very well. Now, if you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, love teaching people how to trade, I hope you can learn something here today, of course. And if you do, comment below, let me know. If not, that's okay too. If you want to consider becoming a community member, CryptoCache.tech is the link in the description below. We have almost 300 members at this point, and it's a really amazing experience where we all learn and grow together. I have a trading academy and a trading community, as well as a signal group too, where I send out signals for every single trade that I take, and you can one-click follow that if you'd like. But generally speaking, the concept is to help you structure your trades more effectively so you know how to survive this market. So there's definitely a certain strategy that is best in this environment, and it can be tumultuous in some cases if you're not careful. That being said, let's go ahead and take a look here at the one-day time frame. And excuse me too, I might clear my throat a few times. I am essentially getting over a cold, and it doesn't want to leave my throat. That's what she said. All right, anyways, that being said, Bitcoin here, big picture on the one-day chart, we can see that the price action is obviously below the moving averages. Those will continue to work as resistances. Right now, about 42,000 is a key level resistance based on the 50, as well as the fact that we have 41,000 or 40,900 roughly as another resistance level that was tested today and kind of rejected. So we could say 41 to 42 would be a resistance channel for the moment till we get more volume. But good news is we're accumulating a lot of volume at 40,000, and that lower price point is very helpful. Okay. So all in all, very, very good stuff in that sense. And the fact that we're holding this trend line still ascending is a very good sign, because you can see once again 35, 37, 38, and 39. Essentially continuing this ascending pattern, making higher lows. And to me, higher lows is the most important thing you could acknowledge in a continuation. It's okay if it doesn't make higher highs. It'll eventually break that higher high with higher lows. Okay, or if those parallel highs essentially will get broken. That's how ascending wedges typically break out. Okay, so again, just big picture, that's kind of what you're looking at there. Not bad stuff at all here. Excuse me. Take a look at the 4 hour. Let's go ahead and see here. So first of all, we are tentatively getting rejected by 50 on the RSI. That was essentially, in a lot of ways, 41,000, or that range of 41 to 42. So we can acknowledge the fact that that's still going to maintain itself as a resistance level. We need to build more volume to be able to get through there. But good news is we have a lot more volume in general going into the trading day here. And that being said, we're starting to pick up that momentum, and we could very well see a very interesting close to the trading day today. Mostly, for the most part, you can tell, or on average, Fridays are take profit days. So a lot of times prices will either decrease or increase on Fridays. Of course, they decrease or increase any day of the week. So that's kind of a funny statement nonetheless, but you might see more severity on Fridays. In other words, a push in a specific direction to kind of establish the trend of the weekend will happen close to the trading day close. A traditional trading day close, more so somewhere in the range of about 5 p.m. Pacific. You'll see right when the market comes to a close, the actual post-market hours are closed on a traditional stock market, and that will affect things, because those are the hours that the whales are traditionally buying and selling. That being said, we could experience some kind of increase near the end of today. It does feel like it's moving more upper than lower, essentially, because if you look at it here on the 4 hour, you can see we are technically making higher lows. So until we continue to, until we break that trend, we could very well just be in this little simple, ascending type of pattern, so to speak, right? That will eventually break out, later down the road. Okay. So I think we have more potential to the upside than the downside based on how strong this area here. Once the volume, once the price gets in there, we get increased volume, and it just kind of shows that 40,000 is a point of contention, and we shouldn't expect the price to come much lower. A, based on the trend line, but B, also based on how well it's holding here so far. Yes, it keeps getting stopped out at these key level resistances of between 41 and 42,000, but the general concept is the same, and the fact that we are ascending and continuing to make higher lows at this point, because we didn't have any higher lows previous to this. Okay, so we got to understand that's a shift in momentum. We're no longer moving down, we're moving sideways. And at this point, a lot of times what you can do is you can basically do channel trading, or range trading they refer to it as, where you just kind of sell up here and buy down here, because the likelihood of it continuing on in this little pattern is fairly high until it breaks to the upside, or again, potential for downside as well. But for the most part, we're still making higher lows here, and that to me is a very important thing. But in truth, we got the 50-day set moving average working as potential resistance. So we'll see here soon what will happen. And what should essentially happen is it should average itself out at this resistance level. Then we'll have to kind of break through there with more volume. We might see that next week, perhaps even this week but I think this weekend we're going to probably see more sideways action and low volume. We've seen it before, of course. Weekends are pretty uneventful, and we could experience the price just going sideways from here. So again, just something to be mindful of or aware of. That could happen, but the key is here that we're getting rejected by the 50 on the SMA and the RSI, and until we can get past that, we're going to continue to face this sideways action and probably be stuck in a channel or a range. Looking at the 1 hour, let's go ahead and quickly acknowledge a couple of things here. I think we got rejected by the cloud. Well, yes, we did. So, I mean, this isn't terrible, but it's pretty standard par for the course when you're trying to break through the actual cloud itself after a very significant downtrend. So generally speaking, this is working as a resistance, and we can't expect the price action to continue much higher from here until it averages itself out. So I would say this weekend, it's going to probably be fairly uneventful. We might see some interesting catalyst at the end of the day that might shoot us up or, heaven forbid, test that most recent low. So I think as long as our next low isn't lower than roughly about 39,600, we're going to be in good shape. Even if the price corrects down to 40 or 39.8, we should still be in good shape there. Okay. Again, pure speculation at this point. There's no telling, of course, but the fact of the matter is, these higher lows essentially are important to acknowledge, more specifically on the 4 hour. So if we're not establishing lower lows on the 4 hour, then we can expect the price to continue to ascend as it has so far. Okay, again, the trend is your friend. So if you can acknowledge the fact that we are in an ascending trend overall, regardless of the fact that we had a recent sell-off recently, you can kind of speculate the fact that it'll probably continue. And it'll continue until it doesn't. That's just kind of the way that trend lines work. There's no guarantees, but the more often you test a trend line, the more likely it is to continue to maintain itself. And it's proven to be pretty good, slow progression over the months. And it's also important too to acknowledge that that it's moving concurrent in a lot of ways with moving averages too. And that overall sentiment and that overall trend is very positive. So to me, Bitcoin looks to be still in good shape. Once again, until we break this trend line here and we close below 39,000, I don't think we should really be in a position where we're super concerned. Heaven forbid we do close under 39,000. The next important milestone is to ensure that we don't go any lower than 37,500. So to me, 37.5 is like the deal breaker, so to speak. We would definitely be establishing lower lows at that point, or parallel lows, essentially, concurrent lows, and that wouldn't be terrible, but anything below that would be adverse. So something to think about, big picture there too as well. We're not completely at the doghouse, but we are definitely showing strength here at this price range, and that to me is important. So take that how you will. To me, anything under 40,000 is a good value, so if you can continue to add your position at this price point, more power to you. Big picture, long run, etc., we're going to see some pretty good stuff from Bitcoin. There's almost a guarantee that we're going to see the price, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10x over the next few years. It's just kind of the way that it's going to go. So, I'd say get on board now, because a few years down the road, we're going to wish we could have a price point of 40,000, and we're going to also be upset with ourselves for squabbling over 40,200 versus 40,500 or 39.5. Again, depending on the type of trader you are, obviously day trading is a different story, but long-term investment trading, this is a good opportunity even still. That's just my personal opinion. All right, so I hope you find benefit again, and I thank you so much for joining me here. We'll look forward to seeing the next video, and if you're not currently a member, CryptoCache.tech is a site, link in the description below. Look forward to working with you. Have yourself a great rest of your day. Take care.